Hello everyone, we're back to show you how we can recreate camera movement in this drone boat shot. Tracking water is tricky, the surface is constantly changing and there are no static features to lock onto, but with GeoTracker for Blender, we can solve the camera motion and then add some 3D elements on top. So let's get started. Here is our Blender startup scene. Let's delete the light and the cube, create new GeoTracker and load our footage. Let's scroll through the clip to make sure everything works fine, and then click this Analyze button. It will analyze the clip for faster tracking later on. Now we need a target geometry that GeoTracker will use to track the shot and solve the camera movement. In our case, we'll use a default plane. Press Shift-A, go to Mesh, Plane, and then scale it up to about 50 meters. We need it this large to fully cover all the visible water surface in the frame. This will give us a much more stable track. Since we've resized this plane quite a bit, we need to apply the scale so Blender treats it as 1.0 again. Just select the plane, press Ctrl-A, and choose Scale. This ensures GeoTracker works correctly with the geometry. And one last thing before we start tracking, hit Tab to switch to Edit mode, right-click anywhere on the plane, and choose Subdivide. Then, in the Settings box at the bottom left, set the number of cuts up to 20. This gives us a nice grid of polygons instead of just one face, which will make aligning and tracking much easier. Then, as usual, we select it in the geometry input here and go to pin mode for the actual tracking. Here we go, we now have our plane as a green mesh here. As you can see, it's quite large, and its default color makes it difficult to see on the bluish-green water, so let's change its color. Go to the Appearance tab, increase the opacity to 1, uncheck Lit Wireframe, and select a bright, high-contrast color, like this pink for example. Perfect! We can save these settings for future use. Click the Presets icon, select New Preset, name it something descriptive like pink, then click the plus icon and OK to save it. Now, if you ever accidentally reset your settings, you can quickly reapply your pink preset from the list, and all your custom appearance settings will be restored. You can start tracking from any frame you like. In our case, we chose the last one because the boat is sitting nice and level with the water here. This makes it the perfect reference for matching the plane to the camera perspective. Okay, one more thing. Let's switch to camera tracking mode, because that's what we're aiming for in the end. But even if you track in geometry mode, you can always go to the Scene tab later and convert the geometry animation to camera, or vice versa. We also have the camera properties here. Ideally, we'd need to know the focal length of the camera that was used to film this shot, but since this is stock footage, we don't know it. So, for now, let's start aligning the plane and come back to this a bit later. Drag the corners of the plane to match its perspective to the water surface in the footage. Once we've roughly aligned the plane, we can enable the Estimate Focal Length option. Now, as we continue matching the plane to the background, GeoTracker will estimate the focal length, and as you can see, it comes out around 80 millimeters. Do this as accurately as possible because it's key to getting a perfectly stable track. Starting from the last frame helps a lot here. The boat is pretty level with minimal bouncing on the waves, giving us a good reference, so check whether those grid lines stay roughly parallel to the boat's shape. If they do, it confirms our perspective is right. Good, let's head over to the Tracking tab, hit Track backwards, and just wait till tracking is completed. Okay, that looks pretty smooth already. No need to refine anything. We've basically recreated a camera motion with a single keyframe. Let's also open another viewport to see it in 3D, and as you see it looks quite similar to what we have in the footage, but just to double check if the tracking results are really good, let's go to the Motion Path tab in Object Properties, click Calculate, and also deselect the keyframe numbers checkbox for a better view. We'll see the camera path as this nice smooth arch, and it looks just perfect. Alright, now we can add some 3D elements. Let's import a rock model and place it into the scene. To integrate it properly, we'll need to set Film to Transparent in the Render Properties and enable Hold Out for the plane so it can serve as a mask. Now we can adjust the rock's position and rotation, duplicate it and put it somewhere else in the scene, play it back to see how it looks, and maybe add more rocks if you'd like. Alright, let's stop here for now, but feel free to go further, compose the full scene, play with materials, or even use this animated camera to track the boat itself. This was a basic pipeline for getting a smooth camera track quickly and easily, even on difficult surfaces like water. We did it in Blender, but the same approach works also in Nuke. Download GeoTracker for Blender from KeenTools.io, like and subscribe, hit the bell to stay informed about our new tutorials and releases. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.